Shh! The Real Obsessed is starting.
Welcome to The Real Obsessed. I'm Kelsey.
I'm Abby.
And today we are sitting down with actress Phuong Kubacki to talk about two of her latest projects coming to theaters very soon. We are talking about Coyote versus Acme and Buddy, two films that everybody seems to be talking about right now, and rightfully so. So, Phuong, welcome to The Real Obsessed.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. Will you just start by introducing yourself, sharing a little bit about who you are, how long you've been acting, and just kind of fill the audience in?
My name is Phuong Kubacki. I've been acting for about 10 years. I started in print modeling and commercials, then went over to film and TV. And I still love doing commercials too. But yeah, I'm focused on film and television.
Awesome. And this is so fun because Fong, you are actually such an important part of the Real Obsessed story. When Kelsey and I hosted one of our first movie events ever, which was the panel at the Phoenix Film Festival, you were with us right there. So this is such a fun full circle moment for us too.
That was great too. Thanks for thinking of me.
Of course, and I have to point out, one of the first films Abby and I really bonded over our shared love for was Bike Riders. And I know we already told you that, but I don't know if the listeners know that. And Phuong was in Bike Riders. She played an amazing character in Bike Riders. So it's kind of been fun to like reconnect with you at all these different stages of our careers.
Yeah, absolutely. Bike Riders was such a great film. It was so fun to do, and I'm glad that you guys bonded over it. That's so cool.
We're obsessed with it.
Yes. One of our real obsessed certified movies.
Yep.
Is Bike Riders. We do want to dive into Coyote versus Acme because this is a movie that is so talked about and there's so much news about it, the fandom. People are really excited for this one, and we know it's been a long time coming. I want to hear a little bit more about how long it's been for you. What was the audition process like? When did you first audition for this? All of that, because it's been such a long time coming.
Yeah, so I auditioned for Coyote versus Acme in March of no, I think it was February of 2022.
Wow.
4 years ago. It's been a while, and when I found out that it was getting shelved, I just thought, "Okay, we're never gonna see it ever." So it's so nice to see that the fans have rallied around it and really helped, get it off the ground and back into theaters. So, my audition process was so interesting because I auditioned for a completely different role than the audition I got offered. And, I don't know if I can say yet because it's not on IMDb, but what I auditioned for was like a forensics expert. I had to look back and see. And then I got an offer for this role, and I thought, I think they're mistaken. Like maybe they might have offered it to the wrong person because I didn't audition for this. And so my agent was like, "No, actually, yeah, they know that, and they thought this role was a better fit, and they offered me that." And I didn't have to re-audition, which was crazy because it was my first studio film, which was really exciting. And I don't really know how those things go. I just assumed they're auditioning tons of people for every role, no matter what. But that's how it went. So it was really cool.
I love that, and I feel like there's such a good lesson in there for anyone, for actors, but for anyone to just go for it because you don't know what's gonna happen on the other end. Because if you would've not auditioned for that, you wouldn't have gotten the other role, so I think that's kind of a cool
Yeah.
parallel.
Absolutely, and I see that all the time. Lots of actors, they decline the audition because they don't see that role for them, whether it's age or whether it's this or that. They're like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna book that, so I don't wanna do it. I don't waste my time." Well, waste your time because you never know.
Waste your time because it's not a waste of time.
Right, it proved to not be a waste of time. It was a great, time spent.
So this is such a tease because we can't even learn anything else about your character yet.
I mean, I just don't wanna get in trouble.
No, we don't want you to get in trouble either.
Yeah, I yeah. I it's
How
I have a huge crazy role that but it's a role, and I have, it's just kind of been hammered into me that not to talk about it unless it's already on IMDb. So I try to respect all the filmmakers.
we respect it.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. So I do wanna talk about your co-stars, which would be the Looney Tunes characters.
Yeah, yeah.
How is that process when you have a cast that half of them aren't actually real. As with some of the other Looney Tunes associated movies, you have the main characters are characters that aren't actually people. So do you have any scenes with any of those characters, and how is that process to act with people that aren't actually there?
Yeah, well, the interaction that I had was actually with, Will Forte, who's super nice. I loved working with him. But yeah, the animation part of it, they actually had, I don't know if it was like a cardboard cutout or if it was a being. And then they had like a puppeteer, and this was a really famous puppeteer, and I forget what he did, but he did some really famous movies back in the day, and he was on set, so I got to learn about that. But that, yeah, that was really interesting because normally you're acting with a person in this sense, you're just using your imagination.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like that would definitely stretch some different acting muscles there.
Absolutely.
And then you mentioned your co-star Will Forte. How was that? How was it so fun to be on? I mean, like the whole cast is
Oh,
truly you
oh
have
my
like
gosh, yeah.
comedy, you have like these legends. It seems like it would be so fun.
It was so fun, and he was so nice and really, inclusive. Sometimes you're on set with leads and you don't really talk to them in between, but he was so nice and friendly and, interacted with everybody, so it was such a pleasure.
That's so
That's
fun.
so good to hear. How long did you work on this film?
I was only scheduled to be a day player just 1 day, but I ended up working a second day as well because we didn't get to finish the scene, and so
Right.
asked, for us to come back the next day, and absolutely I did.
And
And
did you get Oh, and I was just about to ask you that. You filmed it in Mexico?
yeah, New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. I was
Yeah,
like, "Wait, what? Oh my gosh."
yeah,
No, that
completely
makes sense.
different.
New Mexico, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And then because this movie it's been such a long journey, it was shelved and now it's not, largely due to the fandom surrounding this movie. What's that like? Like, how does that feel to know that the power of fandom and people wanting this to be seen?
It's amazing because sometimes when these things happen, you just kind of assume like it's done, okay, and you never think that the fans have a voice, and to just see the fans come together and have such a strong voice is really wonderful, and it just makes you feel like okay, like, and it's just like the movie too because it's against the big corporations. It's so it kind of mirrors that, which is really cool. So it's really nice to see, and I'm just so glad that everyone who put in all of their hard work gets to see it pay off.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I love when
Yes.
art imitates life.
Yes.
That's always how it goes. Did you find out that the film was going to theaters when everyone else did, like when the fans did, or did you find out ahead of time? Okay, you found out in live
Fans
viewing?
did. Yeah, I mean, I have my Google alerts for all the
Of
stuff that I'm
course.
working on just to see what's going on with them, and I've been following it for the past 4 years.
It's
Wow.
amazing.
So you haven't even seen the film yet.
I haven't. Mm-mm.
It's exciting.
Exciting.
It's so exciting. I mean, as a Looney Tunes and a Coyote fan, I'm very excited for him to get some hopeful justice here.
You love a story of justice.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else you want to share about Coyote versus Acme before we move on to Buddy? Because we're gonna change genres a bit here.
Right. Yeah. No, Coyote Acme, but Coyote versus Acme comes out August 28th. I hope you guys come out and see it. And also, Buddies is also coming out the same days too. So it's just really cool that I worked on two different projects. They were filmed two completely different times, but they're coming out on the same day.
Oh yeah, it's officially Phuong Day, and
Yes.
and from Real Obsessed, it's
Double
Phuong Day.
feature.
Double feature at the theater. Okay, so that's perfect. Let's transition into talking about Buddy. When did you film this compared to when you shot for Coyote versus Acme? When did you shoot Buddy?
I shot Buddy last year, July, August, which is really interesting because I showed up on set to film this movie 6 months pregnant. I kind of surprised everybody. I surprised the production, with a baby in my tummy.
And what was the character? Like, who's your character that you're playing? You're playing Nurse Nancy.
I'm
What
playing Nurse
can you
Nan
tell us about Nurse Nancy?
um, ooh, Nurse Nancy is, she's someone that the children can confide in, and they do, and then it kind of starts to cause some issues, and she's left.
Oh, speechless.
She has it. She dies. Spoiler alert. So I did have an interesting death scene, which was, you know, when they when I saw it, and that's the thing about why you should tell production if you're 6 months pregnant, because when you have a fight scene or a death
Ooh.
scene, that's something that you want to communicate because there's things that you have to coordinate. Uh, but when I auditioned a couple months before, and I forgot all about it. So I just
Yeah.
assumed, I just assumed I didn't get it because it had been a couple months. And so when they said, oh, there's a callback, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't even believe I got a callback because it had been so long. And it was so early when I was pregnant that it wasn't early enough for me to even tell family.
Mhm.
I was pregnant during the audition, but not early enough to tell really anybody. And so when we got to shooting, time had passed. Um, but when we got there, I got a stunt double. Everybody was really, really nice and really supportive. Um, so yeah, I'm glad it all worked out.
This is jogging my memory because I get to see you every year at the Southwest Actors Conference.
Mhm.
And I now remember last year, you didn't say the name of the film, but you were talking about how you had just shot a film and dealing with this, like, do I tell them I'm pregnant? I just found out so early on in my pregnancy. Like, exactly, like, it's too early to even tell your family. And I remember you talking about kind of what that experience was like, but I'm just now putting it together that that was for this film, Buddy.
Yeah, that's what it was for. And well, I had actually filmed 4 films while I was pregnant.
Oh,
Wow.
2 when I was
actually, it could have been any of the 4 films that I just got back from shooting.
yeah, but I think you're right. I think it was Buddy. But yeah, it's interesting because the film I had shot right before that, I did tell production
Mm.
I was pregnant only because they had said that they were going to change my character to being pregnant. And so I was like, actually, I am pregnant. So
Make your job easier. I am pregnant already.
yeah, so I'm like, you don't have to use any stuffing or anything. But with that one, I saw how production got felt it felt really crazy, and it felt like everybody was panicking after I told them that. And so I've heard from other people as well. I didn't want to be treated differently.
Mm.
Being pregnant, I didn't want a chance getting my role cut or minimized. I'm not saying that it would, but I've heard stories, and you just never know. So I just didn't say anything. I didn't think I needed to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
And obviously it all worked out. Like yeah,
yeah,
we have proof that you didn't need to. So
yes,
now you did say you gave us a little spoiler that Nurse Nancy dies.
yes.
Is this the first time you've had a death scene? Is this the first time your character has died? No.
Oh, you mean me? Yes.
Yeah.
I did a horror film. It's always horror films. I did another
Always.
horror film a few years ago, and I died in that one as well. But yeah, I don't think I love death scenes. I want my character to live on.
Of course. That's what I was curious about is how difficult it is to shoot a death scene. I mean, obviously it totally depends on the circumstances, but like what is that like? Is it fun? Is it difficult?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, if you have a stunt double, it's definitely a lot
Yeah.
easier. With this one, I did have a stunt double, and I couldn't not do any of it. I did like part of it if they were showing my face and stuff. So they can kind of blend it together. And then she took over and did the rest, which, I mean, thank you to our stunt people. She was amazing.
Oh yeah. Stunt performers are amazing. Thank goodness for them. They deserve all the recognition. Okay, well, I'm looking forward. This sounds crazy. I'm looking forward to seeing how you die, Fong.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but I'm looking forward to seeing how you die in this film. Okay, so I have to ask because for the last month, I've had people sending me teasers and trailers for Buddy saying, is this film real? What's going on? This film is scaring a lot of people.
It
The
is.
trailer and the teasers are freaking people out. And of course, it was amping me up. I was so excited. What is some insight you can share into how this story has been teased and how it relates to maybe shows that we watched as kids growing up? Obviously, I feel like most millennials are immediately going to think of Barney the dinosaur, and I imagine that that is what this movie was inspired by or took inspiration from. So I would
Mhm.
love to hear your thoughts, or even maybe like your thoughts when you read the script for the first time.
I had no idea what to think when I read this script. I It's a wild movie. That's all I can say is to describe it. It's wild. Things are happening. It's rated R, so I know it's like people might think it's a kids movie, but it's rated R, so just know that going in. And it is scary. I personally think it's scary. So what was your first question? Oh, the Barney thing. I have seen the movie, um so yeah, it's so interesting, but yeah, I thought it was such a great concept and a great idea with Casper Kelly. The director did such a great job too, and it's yeah, it definitely thinks with Barney, everybody has such a positive association with it, supporting the kids, but this particular buddy takes a turn. So yeah, it just has a twist to it, and I would just say be prepared for crazy things to happen.
I'm prepared.
I
Yeah.
am too.
We got to plan how we're going to do this double feature. Do you have a recommendation? How should we plan? Which film should we see first? Is it better to watch Buddy first and then cleanse the horror with Coyote
That's what I would
Versace?
do. That's
Okay.
what I would do. I would start out and then end on a positive note, so
Okay. We need to plan our double feature for
Yes.
Fong Day.
Yes, we definitely do. Working on a horror set, do you ever get scared yourself? I would imagine that sometimes it feels so real when you're I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of blood in this and you have
Mhm.
that gore. Like, how does that feel like the emotional side of tapping into those feelings as an actress?
It's pretty scary. For my scene, I was strangled to death. And so we had a lot of makeup. And so, and I think they cut this scene out, but for me, the kids are supposed to find me like in a closet and I'm kind of in dead for a few days. And I think that scene was cut out, but I have pictures of myself and the director kept being, oh no, like more dead, more dead. And so he kept, there's there's kind of a little bit period of time where we first start and I'm dead, and then you add me and I'm more gray and more gray and more blood. So I took a picture of my final look, and it was definitely hard, or different. It's a different reflection that I'm used to seeing. So that was crazy and not used to it, but it was fun. I had such a great time and everybody had fun with it. The other scene that I did where I died a few years ago, that one, the set was like so positive because like it's so colorful and it's kind of based in the story of a TV show. Everything's bright and happy. But the set on another film that I did that was horror, that one was kind of dark and dreary. So that was scary even when I wasn't shooting, just because the vibes all around. So it just depends on the movie, is all I can say.
That makes sense. And I would even argue that Buddy, a horror character like Buddy, might even be scarier because a giant orange unicorn who's friends with kids is very unsuspecting. Like you would not think, and this is me assuming, maybe Buddy's not even the killer. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet, but it's almost more unsettling. And I think that that is why people are talking about this film so much, where when you see in a stereotypical horror film, Michael with a knife or Freddy Krueger, it's like you expect that. You know that's the bad guy, but seeing a friendly fluffy unicorn just is so unsuspecting that it's creepy.
Even scarier.
And I love it.
Absolutely. Especially, yeah, when you don't think that is gonna happen and it has a twist, then I think
Yeah.
that makes it even scary. Even with people, when you meet someone and you don't think that they, have a side to them because you assume that based off of their body language and their, what they're presenting, they're sweet. And when you find out that they're not, that's, I would say,
Mhm.
scarier as well than just seeing a person and thinking, okay, no, I don't want to mess with them, or this person is, a little spicy, just knowing off the bat, then you know how to go on. But when someone surprises you like that, you're, ooh.
Ugh, your walls go up.
Yes.
I do have to ask, there are a lot of children in this cast.
Mhm.
How were the set days structured? What was that like? Because obviously there are a lot of different, rules when shooting on set with a lot of kids and how long they can shoot, when they have to take a break. How was that schedule compared to a lot of other films that you've worked on?
Yeah, I've worked on a lot of films with children, and they have to work less hours by law, and they also have to have a parent with them as well. So they do a great job in making sure that these kids are not overworking. But these kids that I worked with on Buddy were so good. Like they were so talented. I was so impressed. They all knew their lines. They came on set prepared. I was really impressed with all of them.
Oh, I'm
That's
so excited to see
amazing.
it.
I know. Me too.
Like I know me as a child at their age, I couldn't
Oh,
do that stuff. I couldn't spit out all that dialogue. I'm so impressed.
I am always impressed by child actors who like are able to tap into specific emotions. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, it took me a long time to even like learn how to access some of my
My own
emotions.
emotions. Yeah.
That's impressive. Wait, is there anything else that you want to share about Buddy or any other teasers you want to give us? I mean, you already gave us a lot of good teasers into what happens, especially with your character in this film, but anything else?
Oh, now all I can say is that prepare yourself for a wild ride. The key word again is it's wild. So I hope everybody enjoys the film.
I'm so excited. I can't wait for a wild ride.
Yeah, I can't wait for a wild ride. We're going to have a nice little fun Fong day with a double feature.
Yes.
Yes, and
Fun.
please review it and let me know which one
Oh,
you guys like
we
better and your
will.
thoughts on that. I would love to know.
We will. Absolutely. You can
Well,
count on us for that.
exactly. Well, for everyone, Coyote versus Acme and Buddy are both in theaters on August 28th. Do not miss it. Go support Fong Day because we will be there at the theater.
Oh.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Roll the credits.